The plot kind of sucks. I don't know how much of this. I think I was reading about what the actual Waitress movie is, and I don't think it's as quite as. It's not quite the treatise on domestic violence this one tended to be, which isn't the thing I dislike about it. You want to tell a story about the evils of domestic violence, by all means, I'm with you. How this handles it, I don't love. And more to the point, and this is going to sound funny, and this is not in any way to disparage particular relationship dynamics, because in particular relationship dynamics, the first and foremost thing you must have is trust and honesty. If you're going to do things in an open way, you have to be open. You have to be honest. Yeah, you have to be. These are things that have to be discussed outright.
Yeah.
Cheating is still cheating. Cheating is lying, and lying is bad. And what I don't like about Waitress, and I really do want to get your opinion on this. This is not. I'm not here to lecture you. This is not like certain people do on this podcast. My opportunity to scream from the pulpit. But this is how I feel. So I'm entitled to my feelings, and then I'll get your opinion on it and tell me I'm full of shit. It's fine. But I don't particularly love the point of view of the musical that cheating is okay so long as you have a good reason for it. I don't think it's ever okay because it's still lying. It's still being deceitful. And so you have this woman who's in a terrible marriage, which I get. It's not always easy to leave those terrible marriages, especially as manipulative as those people tend to be. I get all that. That's bad. She knowingly gets into a relationship with the doctor whose only reason for cheating on his wife is, I'm not always into her. I'm like, you as a musical want me to cheer these people who are not doing the right thing. And then that's not enough for the musical. The musical has to fucking double down on it and go, well, look, even the waitress and the cook are doing it. And she's doing it because she's got a husband at home who can't, do anything for her physically and that she has to care for, and she has needs that need to be met. And at no point do they say they have an open relationship. She just goes, it's fine. It's just fine. And the cook has a wife at home. And I think at some point someone even asks him about it. And she goes, and he's like, just kind of blows it off. It's like, it's fine. Okay. Nobody posits a legitimate reason for lying and being deceitful. And the reasons given are flimsy at best. I don't like the standpoint of view that the musical is coming from, because the musical is telling you this is all okay, and I just don't agree with that. That's the part of it that's why I struggle with this, because I want to love this musical. It's beautiful. It's well made. We talked about how great the movement is. I mean, the costumes are what they are. But the guy playing Earl is the worst, is like the best and worst villain I've seen in quite some time. Like, if I could convince Robert, Clockwork Orange style, to watch a musical, I'd make him watch this one, because Earl is so good and he loves villains. He's a great villain.
Oh yeah, Earl is a fantastic villain.
Yeah,
and Earl is such a fantastic villain because we've all known people like that.
Yeah.
Or we've known people who were in relationships with people like that.
Absolutely. Earl is unfortunately way too common in current day society, to the point he's scarier than any horror monster. I know you and Mick and Dorian love your horror. Give him a fucking butcher knife. Iconic horror villain. Right up there with Voorhees and Myers. Just absolutely terrifying. He's so evil. He's so bad that when he came out for his bow, everyone forgot he was an actor. Did you happen to catch that?
Yeah.
People were just like, oh, yay, yay. Collective reaction of that audience. I almost hated to be that guy, because he was like Rey Mysterio when he came in at number 30 at the Royal Rumble, and everyone was expecting CM Punk. Poor Rey. You ever see a small luchador cry? I did. But that's why I don't want to hate this, but I hate the message of the musical.
Well, and I feel like the message is less that this is okay, and it's more exemplifying how horrible it actually is to settle for being happy enough. Because Carl in the show,
Mm-hmm.
when he's asked why he is cheating on his
Yeah,
wife.
he's the one that says, "I'm happy enough" line.
Yeah. It's I'm happy enough. I'm happy enough to not want to change anything, but that doesn't actually mean that you're happy.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the entirety of this thing is more because nothing that the only two truly good people in this film, or the only truly good couple in this film, are the autistic motherfuckers.
But they're totes adorbs.
They are absolutely adorable, and you 100% root for them as
Yeah.
soon as the guy starts reciting the Declaration of Independence. And
Yeah.
it's just like, you know what, you two go be kinky for the Revolutionary War. Don't deal with any of these other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it is more, it's more of a message with about don't settle for happy enough, because happy enough is not happy enough. Happy enough is just a state of misery that you don't want to change.
We don't have the time for me to unpack that the way I want to. Again, we both agreed to
Yeah.
not be here for 2 to 3 hours. However, there is something to be said for finding happiness within yourself as opposed to deriving happiness from external sources. I don't want to get into it. I'm making a statement. It's something to explore at another time under different circumstances. I hear what you're saying. I still don't feel like this musical, because it does deal with the happy enough idea, but I think it fumbles it. When the only saving grace of this is that in the end, the doctor did go back to his wife, but at her behest, not because he suddenly realized cheating on my wife doesn't deserve this and cheating on my wife is bad. He goes back to it because he's rejected by Sarah Bareilles' character.
Yeah.
She basically tells him, she finally grows a fucking conscience and goes, "Your wife doesn't deserve this, go back to her." And he goes, "Well, what am I supposed to do when the hot woman says go back to my wife? Not go back to my wife?"
Yeah.
But so it's not like they have a happy ending together. Her happy ending is the fucking diner and the pies and the daughter.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I don't know if did they ever deal with the cook and the other waitress. I can't tell if they're still together at the end.
I don't know. They
Okay.
didn't, like, they were both back in the kitchen when they
Yeah.
were singing to the girl and her husband,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. They never actually resolved that one.
Yeah, so they may still be together, they may not be. And I guess that's my point that I'm trying to make is what you're telling me is if you're not happy, if you if you the opposite of what is it? If you can find love the one you're with. If the love at home is not doing it for you, then find love elsewhere. And it doesn't really matter if you tell your partner about it or not. Which I think is bullshit. Quite frankly. Look, I'm not making the argument people should stay in bad relationships. I really am not. However, one must be brave and say the thing out loud that needs to be said for the other person's sake. Because how unfair? I mean, look, I don't like Earl, and I think that's part of this as well. Is this is okay because Earl's so shitty, he deserves to be cheated on. It's a specious argument to say the least.
Oh yeah, and everyone in this fucking musical should have grown a pair. And
Okay,
just,
so you kind of see where I'm coming from.
yeah, no, none of what they did was okay.